Hey, this is Mike with Christian Meds. This is the fourth part of the knowledge branch of the occult. So this time we're going to go over handwriting analysis, horoscopes, and idolatry. So let's get started. So when it comes to handwriting analysis, this has basically been used by police departments, things like that, ever since the 17th century. For me, they say it's kind of very similar to a fingerprint. They also say it's a reliable piece of information, is the way that they've used these guidelines to basically interpret people's handwriting and the way that they write things to get insight into their subconscious. Because they're realizing that people have given patterns based upon, experience, that certain things, like if you write to a point where you're crossing out your own name, that might be some sort of indication that you don't like yourself, so there's certainly something here. Do I think it's really an occult practice? I think that there's ways to find patterns that are beneficial to police departments, things like that. And I would find this a little bit more reliable than a lot of other things that are on this list. So in my opinion, handwriting analysis is a very gray area for me. I wouldn't really just classify it straight out as a cult practice. It's just because it happens to tap into somebody's subconscious. I realize that there are given patterns of things that happen, that things like if somebody, writes their name and then crosses it out, that could be a subconscious thing basically saying, I don't really like myself. So I could see how, that there could be given patterns that are, consistent just because of God's design when it comes to handwriting analysis. So for me, this is a very gray area. I really wouldn't just say that everybody who uses this is really trying to get a one-up on somebody or trying to have some sort of power over somebody. I would file this kind of in a different area, more like, a fingerprint type area. The next thing on the list is horoscopes. Well, first off, horoscopes are false. If you basically went to somebody who does horoscopes, and if you went to 10 different people, you get 10 different horoscopes, They all have books and things that they can look things up in. But they're pretty much, they're false. And if you allow them to have power over you, definitely demonic forces can influence the people giving the horoscopes, because a lot of times they've opened a lot of doors to, demonic forces basically speaking to them, whispering in their ear, That's why one of these things like horoscopes I would definitely, avoid. So basically, yeah, there are other ways that you can just give things to have power over you that you really don't want to have power over you. So I would certainly, steer clear of anything, that was related to horoscopes. So the last one this week is Irisology. So this is one that, is out there, but a lot of people haven't heard of, including myself. I really hadn't ever really thought about it prior to this week and actually doing some research on it. Basically, it's looking at the iris of your eye, and they have maps that actually have, 12 quadrants and all sorts of stuff, and they're basically saying that these different things mean different things and all this stuff. Well, it just looks like mythology to me. I mean, it certainly has nothing that's based on science or anything like that that basically says that this pattern means these things. That's part of the, they're basically trying to incorporate those things in. Really there's no there's no proof that any of this has any kind of validity whatsoever. And, basically, it's just another way to let somebody give you a false reading, or it's just, I can make up a story and make you, believe a lot of times things just because I want to have power over you, or I want to, basically charge you money. This is just another one of those things that falls into that type of category, where there is no fact behind it. It's just another way for, demonic forces to basically generate power over people. So I would definitely, it's just another one of these things that I would just completely avoid, just like horoscopes. So those are my thoughts this week. I hope you're having a pleasant, a good week. I realize that everybody, with what's going on in the world, has really had a lot of stress and all that. So I pray blessings over all of you, and just hope you have a pleasant week.